Hello, Just Too Good here, back for another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Legends of Chima Winter 2015 wave of sets. Now, these are all Fire vs. Ice sets, and pictures of these were released officially through official LEGO retailer earlier this week, which you could just find a link to that retailer. It's kind of like a German or a Dutch site by following the link in the description. And I released pictures of these a little bit too early last month, and you could find a link to that video in the description. And if any LEGO representatives have a problem with, this video, taking a look at these pictures of future products, feel free to contact me and I will remove it. But for now, let's get into these sets. And keep in mind that I cannot look at 4 sets because we're missing pictures for 4 of the sets. There's the Mammoth Tribe Battle Pack, and those pictures have not been released, and I think that's actually canceled. But let's hope that it comes out. There's also 3 other retail exclusive sets, which you guys will probably see those in the news video when those come out on my channel. So keep checking back for those. So this wave of Chima is kind of unique because they're starting to put out battle packs with 3 minifigures, and we haven't gotten battle packs for Chima before, at least ones that are actually, with a build, the traditional style of battle packs, because we have gotten some store exclusive ones, but those are really crappy and overpriced. Now these are very cool because we not only do we get some exclusive minifigures, but we get a hard to find minifigure in this one in particular, and a cute little build. And all these are going to retail for $10. It's officially confirmed by the Target database. Actually, I checked up with my store. It was a long process, very tedious, but nevertheless, this is $10 each. So you get 2 exclusive minifigures and 1 hard to find minifigure, and a pretty sweet little build, all for $10. You can see I really like the generic soldier for this line right here because we've never really gotten generic line soldiers. Now, this one in particular isn't very interesting, but I still think it's pretty cool to get kind of a stern face lion because all the lions usually smirk or whatnot in the past years. That honestly gets a little bit annoying or childish, and it's better to get a more serious looking Chima minifigure. And we do also get more serious lionesses, which you get this one right here, which has some great kind of gold coating on it. And you do get Liella again from she was in I think the Phoenix Temple set, and that was obviously like a $130 set. So this is the cheapest way to get her by a long shot, and it's nice to get her in this set as well because she is a very prominent lioness. And for the rest of the set, you get a nice little banner with some nice printing on it and some nice little disc shooters, which I hope are printing and not stickers. And that's really it for the set. They also have these for the crocodiles, which we'll take a look at the crocodile one right now, which you do get some generic crocodiles. This one's pretty cool because he has kind of like a bottom beige kind of under mouth part. You got a little armored one, which looks very cool. And then you got one last one, which is kind of hard to see because we don't have really a separate picture of him. But these are cool because crocodiles, I always like the crocodiles the most. I think they look really, really cool. And these look very menacing and very evil, not goofy like... Well, I mean, the crocodiles never really looked goofy, so... But these have a nice kind of olive color to them, which I think is pretty cool. Also, they give you one for the ice, saber-toothed tigers, which are very cool because these also have some nice armor on them. You can see one has kind of a bronze mouth guard, and unfortunately, we don't have a separate picture of him, but you can kind of see him in the back of that picture. And you do get these 2 other generic ones. One has kind of a sand blue coloring, which looks very nice. And this one right here has kind of an older look to it. And they look all very menacing, and I'm glad they're all $10. And then you get them for the Ice Bears as well. And the Ice Bears are a completely new tribe for 2015 with a new molding of that little, headpiece right there. It goes over, so it's kind of like a mask piece, but it's kind of a headpiece for the mythos. But nevertheless, nice to get an Ice Bear tribe pack this early because, like I said, this is a completely new tribe. And they look great too. I love bears. I think bears are actually really, really cute. And having a menacing bear is actually pretty cool. And this one has some very nice marking on him with some nice kind of armor on there on his face. And the other few have kind of more generic, non-printing. That's like very extravagant. But that's good because you need some generic, soldiers for your Ice Bear army if you want to make this. So I think I'm going to get all these battle packs. I think they came out very, very good. And even though their builds are, not the most interesting build, I think the minifigures make up for it 100%. And such a great price, too, at $10. And you can probably tell, this is my favorite Chima wave by far. I didn't really like the last few. I thought the Fire vs. Ice wave was really cool. But, the Jungle one, all of 2013 was really crappy. But now we're getting some very stellar sets. And speaking of stellar sets, this one isn't really one, but it's like a mediocre set. You get Juarez in this one with that very nice fire wing molding right there, or Phoenix wings. And that's really the best part about this set, because this is the cheapest way you can get those Phoenix wings. I believe this set retails for either $15 or $20, and that works to an advantage because it isn't the most extravagant build, but like I said, cheapest way to get those Phoenix wings. Both of the minifigures aren't exclusive, at least in terms of the characters themselves. I think they do have some new printing, so that's good. Because you do get, let me see, you get Strainor and you get Juarez, which Strainor came in 2 sets in 2013 or 2014, or 2 or 3 sets. And Juarez, of course, we've been getting Juarez since 2013. He's kind of like the wolf leader now. The build itself, like I said, isn't anything special. It actually looks kind of crappy if you ask me. But as a easy way to get the wings, it's still kind of overpriced. But hey, you know, if you want to get those wings cheap, you get this set. Am I getting this set? Most likely not. And next up, we're going to take a look at this set right here, which is Flinx's Ultimate Phoenix. This is, I think, $20 or $25. And for that price, I guess it's pretty cool for those who like kind of the vehicles in the Chima lineup, because it does look like a Phoenix. My problem with this set, while it is nice to get those pieces right there, those little flame pieces, I think it's going to be very, very flimsy with those little wings. And it's going to be kind of hard to maneuver. You're going to probably have to hold it by like the body or whatnot. But that's really it for me. I'm not really interested in this set that much. I know Flinx came in the Phoenix Fire Temple, so he is an exclusive, and Voom Voom came in a few sets, and I even have Voom Voom from that Speedor set. So yeah, it's not really appealing to me, but I can see people who like the Chima vehicles liking this a lot. Next up, we'll be taking a look at Tormak's Shadow Blazer, and that set right there. Let me see. I'm going to load it up. Tormak's Shadow Blazer doesn't appeal to me either, honestly. I think it looks kind of lame. I especially don't like the head of it. The head looks kind of nothing like, I don't even know what it is. It looks kind of like a first-year Chima vehicle. It reminds me of the Pack Tracker from 2013, but it also reminds me of the Rogan Rhino vehicle from 2014, which I thought that one was okay, but this one doesn't work. Like I said, that face looks very, very bad on the vehicle. I don't know, it makes the whole thing look very chunky and ugly. But other than that, you do get a very cool Tormak, which Tormak, spoiler alert, I think this is like the burnt version or something like that, because he was a tiger or lion or something, and he got burnt. And we got the one from this year, I think the tiger one, from the Phoenix Fire Temple in kind of an orange color. But now he's all black, and honestly, it looks awesome. I think that's a very cool minifigure. Other than that, you get Psychor, which I have from that polybag, a very cool polybag, but nothing interesting there. And then you get Gorzan too, and I have Gorzan a few times, even though this one is exclusive for his little breastplate right there. Other than that, nothing really interesting about that set, unfortunately. This next set here is very good. I really like this set. It's called the Icebite Claw Driller. This is really cool because it's a mech, and I like mechs for some unconventional stuff, and I think this is a very unconventional mech. You get basically it looks like an ice bear mech, and while the head doesn't really look like one of an ice bear's, it came out really, really cool and really menacing. It looks a little bit like the Gorzan mech, but like souped up in white. And I love how that came out. And the minifigures are very good too, because you get Bolkar, which Bolkar is the first regular bear we've gotten. We're getting these ice bears, but we also get Bolkar, which works out very well. And that's pretty cool. And you also get Razor, who has those nice new wings. So I'm probably going to get this set to get that wing piece and get Bolkar and then get that awesome mech. And then you also get 2 ice bears, which the ice bears look very cool. I'm not sure if they're exclusive or not. Like I said, we haven't seen the rest of the wave. We're missing those 3 retail exclusives. But Icebite has kind of a cool pearl gold helmet there. Not really helmet, but kind of skin face extension. I guess that's a better word for it. And we got Ice Paw, who looks kind of like a generic ice bear. But still, it just came out so cool. Because if you look at the details right here, it has a pretty nice little cockpit. Even though it's an outside cockpit, I think that works pretty well. And I love those little claws and the driller. And also they kind of have what looks like a Gatling kind of ammunition string right there, which that reminds me a little bit of the banana string from Gorzan's Gorilla Mech. And for the other vehicles, I mean, there's a little vehicle for Bulk Car, which looks very lame. But mainly, what you'd get this for is the mech itself. I'm like really hoping that this is a $40 set. If it's not $40 and it's $50, I could still get it. I mean, I don't know. So I really want that set. And last up is, or is this the last one? I think this might be the last one. Yeah, this is the last one, and it is Tiger's Mobile Command. And this set is kind of interesting too because it's a very nice orange coloring because it's nice to get orange pieces, but I do not like how this came out. It's like a big tank, but it ends up looking too chunky for me, and the face right there looks really kind of bad. A little bit like Tormak, or yeah, the problem with Tormak's vehicle just ends up looking a little bit not for my taste. But the minifigures are very cool in this one because this is the only set that you could get a beaver in, and I think the beaver's name is Breezor, and his is very funny because they just basically recolored the Series 11 Yeti's face mold to fit a beaver. And I like it when LEGO like recolors very specific moldings and puts it for a totally different use. And I can't say I don't like this one because that's how it came out. They were very lazy to not include a little tail for the beaver, and you know the beaver's tail is like the most recognizable part of a beaver, so that's very lame. But hey, I won't complain too much because I don't think I'm even getting this set, and that's one of the reasons why. Because honestly, I don't think it's worth the value. Sure, you get some nice tigers, which are always nice to get, especially non-saber-tooth tigers, because you get 2 of those, which is pretty cool. And you get Eris, which I guess is alright too. And you also get Sir Fangar, which we've gotten a few times before. But I believe Tazar and Traka are 2 exclusive minifigures, along with Breezor and Cybres, which is a completely new saber-tooth tiger altogether. So overall, I think in this specific set, I think the figures are the best part. But the vehicle itself, while the treads kind of look nice, I don't like how the front part looks with the face right there. It looks very chunky. And I do kind of like the orange coloring, but it reminds me a lot of why I didn't like Wars' Combat Lair, where it's just a big, long, and chunky vehicle. Long and chunky. And that's really it for this wave. I'm amazed I actually got this under 15 minutes. I was not expecting to succeed in my 15-minute challenge. But hey, it works out. Overall, just final thoughts on this wave. Favorite Chima wave so far. I think the minifigures are great in this wave, and the builds are starting to look very good. Not only do you get the good deals with the tri-packs, but you get some awesome builds like the Ice Bear mech, which looks awesome, and some cute little builds. I guess, honestly, actually, I'm looking back. I really only like the Ice Bear mech and the battle packs in terms of builds. But like I said, the minifigures really make up for that because you get some beavers, or 1 beaver actually, a generic bear, which looks really cool, and some nice armored ice bears, lions, and whatnot. So yeah, cool wave. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what your opinions on these sets are, and tell me which thoughts video you want to see next. That's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.